Okay, the other day several people asked what the difference between using vector and raster is to draw images. So I'm going to show you using Inkscape, which is a free program. When you open Inkscape, it automatically opens up this size file, and that's kind of small for me. I like to use one that has no borders. So I open a new one with no borders. I also like to go ahead and zoom out so that when I'm drawing, my images are rather large, because I'm going to go ahead and use them on binders and skateboards and other large items. I am using my mouse to draw at this time, not my pen, because I really want to demonstrate what it can do. With the smoothing set to 1, which is as low as it goes, I'm just going to draw a wiggly line, and as you can see, it's got all these little rough bumps and edges, and as you can see with it set to 1, that's still pretty rough and bumpy, and there's a squiggly here. We're going to go ahead and move it up a little to about 32, and we're going to draw a similar line. Now you can see this time it smoothed it a lot more. There's still some rough edges in places, but it smoothed the line a lot better. We'll go ahead and move it up a bit more to about 60, and we'll do the same kind of a line. And now you can see there's no rough edges. It has completely smoothed that line. If you move it up to 100 and you draw the same kind of wiggly line, it's going to smooth it completely. So you have to find by trial and error pretty much how far you want to smooth the image. The other thing you can do, and we're going to go ahead and delete those, is you can use it to fill an image. For example, if I wanted to draw the shape of a t-shirt, I'm going to go like this, and that's roughly a t-shirt. Oops, I left it on 100. We didn't want that, so we're going to undo that, and we'll set it back to about 44, which is about where I usually use it. As you can see, this has very jagged edges, and now it looks roughly like a t-shirt. I can come up here now and tell it to turn fill on, and it's going to fill that image. If I wanted to add a pair of pants now, and of course these are just rough images, we can turn the fill on again, and look, now we have an outfit. As you can see, it's a little bit more abstract, but it's also smoother in quality than you normally get when you're using a raster program like Photoshop or GIMP. So basically that's one of the main features. The other thing you can do is there are some shapes that you can use, such as this, where you can make a star, and it allows the star to be perfectly even. And then you can go ahead and change the number of sides. So if you needed an image for a banner or a sign, maybe something that said sale or pow or some other exclamation, you can do that. If you're looking for a 5-pointed star or a 6-pointed star that's perfect, you can do that here. Unlike with shapes in Photoshop, where when you do it you have to make sure that you drag it to the exact dimension, or your star might be short and fat or tall and skinny. Here it's automatically going to be perfect. The other thing you can do is you can even adjust the spoke ratio, how far it goes to the center. So if you needed to make a star, you could do that. You can round them out a little. You can make them randomized so that they don't, well, that makes it really randomized, so that they're not exactly the same. And these are all things that you can do just to play with it. It allows you to create some more interesting shapes that would not normally be created. You can also draw a hexagon as opposed to a star, or a heptagon, or however many sides you want to have on it. And of course you can fix these back to 0. So that one's a little bit off-centered. You can hit 0 and it'll bring it right back. But if you wanted to make it a little skewed, you could do that. So it lets you make some interesting shapes and some abstract images, which of course can be used in all sorts of designs.